Today's lesson is called A Retrieved Reformation. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
My name is Roger, and today we're going to continue to summarize a short story by the American writer O. Henry. The main character is Jimmy Valentine. He's a master safecracker, and he walked free from prison after serving his time, but he went back to his apartment and retrieved his suitcase of safecracking tools, and the owner of the cafe downstairs kind of knew what he was up to. And here, of course, Jimmy's probably going to resume his life of crime.
Apparently, he already has. Now, do we know for certain? No. But Ben Price, a police officer who knew how Jimmy worked, he is on to Jimmy big time, okay? There have been a series of robberies, okay? And these have occurred in the period of time right after Jimmy has been released from prison. Okay, that's one fact. On top of that, Ben Price is starting to sense a pattern. He knows that Jimmy Valentine has had something to do with these robberies. So there you go. Has Jimmy Valentine gone back to a life of crime? It sure does sound like it. Has it been totally confirmed? Not quite yet, but maybe that's what we'll do on day 2. Maybe Ben Price will catch Jimmy Valentine and put him away for good. Will that happen? I don't know, but it sure is exciting. Let's go ahead and read our story and find out what happens next. Let's go ahead and take a short break, but when we come back, yes, we'll start reading from the second part of our story called A Retrieved Reformation.
Meanwhile, Jimmy had arrived in a small town where he met a young woman named Annabelle Adams, the daughter of a local banker. It was love at first sight for Jimmy, who, upon seeing Annabelle, vowed to quit crime. He settled down, opened a shoe store, and won Annabelle's heart. Eventually, the two got engaged.
各位好，第一部分我们看到副词 meanwhile 指与此同时，在此期间，例如 Edgar is cleaning the floors. Meanwhile, Judith is washing the dishes. Edgar 正在扫地，在此同时 Judith 正在洗碗。或是 Anita went to the mall, and meanwhile her husband took a nap. Anita 去购物中心，在此期间她丈夫在睡午觉。另外补充一个同义片语 in the meantime 表示在这期间。举例来说 Go out and look for Jenny.I'll stay here in the meantime in case she comes back. 去外面找 Jenny 吧，这段时间我会留在这，以防她回来。接着我们看到片语 settle down 表示安顿下来，定居。例如 Bill traveled a lot during his 20s, but when he turned 30, he settled down and got married. Bill 20几岁时仍漂泊不定，但他年届30时便安定了下来，并结了婚。另外，这个片语还有以下几种意思。第一，表示坐下来休息，像是 May settled down in a comfortable chair after a long day. 经过了漫长的一天 May 坐在一张舒服的椅子上休息。第二，表示使平静下来。举例来说 The exhausted babysitter settled down the kids by putting on some soft music. 那位疲劳的保姆靠着播放一些轻柔的音乐，让小孩们平静下来。
Okay, everybody, let's talk about the first part of today's lesson. Now, remember when we left off last time, Ben Price was thinking about all of the recent robberies, and he was suspecting that Jimmy Valentine was responsible for those robberies. So while Ben Price is thinking about this, we've got Jimmy doing something else. So if you talk about two actions taking place at the same time, usually in different locations, we use the word meanwhile. Okay, so I could say, my brother was watching a baseball game in Minneapolis. Meanwhile, my sister was traveling to Alaska. So those two things were happening at the same time. So while Ben Price was thinking about these crimes, Jimmy had arrived in a small town somewhere where he met a young woman named Annabelle Adams, the daughter of a local banker.
There you go. Jimmy arrived in a small town. Maybe he was planning his next heist or something like that. But then he met a young woman named Annabelle Adams and fell in love. Now, Annabelle Adams was also the daughter of a local banker. When I read this, I thought, oh, he's going to fall in love with Annabelle Adams because he can get inside info about this bank and maybe rob the bank. But it turns out, though, that Jimmy actually really loves Annabelle Adams. Yeah, for it was love at first sight for Jimmy, who, upon seeing Annabelle, vowed to quit crime. So he saw Annabelle and he thought, I love her. I'm willing to give up my life of crime. Okay, he wasn't thinking, hey, there's a mark. Annabelle Adams, daughter of a local banker. Yeah, I'm going to get some inside info from her and rob the bank. No, he was actually really in love with this person. He's in love with her enough that he vowed to quit crime. So before Ben Price vowed to put Jimmy away for good, now we've got Jimmy vowing to quit crime, i.e. he's promising himself that he is going to do this.
My goodness, if I can be together with a girl like that, I will never commit a crime as long as I live.
And again, Jimmy is serious about this. He settled down, opened a shoe store, and won Annabelle's heart. So there you go. He settled down. He's not going to move around anymore, move from town to town, only living in motels or only renting or anything like that. He settled down, okay? He decided to stay in one place, to put down roots, to get a job, open up a business, buy a house, maybe even start a family. That's what it means to settle down. So he settled down, opened a shoe store. That's the business he decided to open. And he won Annabelle's heart, i.e. he did a good enough job that Annabelle fell in love with him. How about that? And get this, eventually the two got engaged. So Jimmy fell in love with Annabelle first. She fell in love with him after that. And then, after some time, the two got engaged. Yes, that's what the word eventually means. It means after some period of time.
Right, so of course, if you're going to get married in the future, you get engaged, okay? You're not married yet. You just have basically exchanged the promise to each other that you will have a wedding in the future. Usually that involves the man proposing to the woman, getting on his knee, and putting a diamond ring on her finger. And then you get engaged if she says yes. And then later you get married. And after you're married, then you say you are married. I'm married. I'm no longer single. Okay, so eventually they got engaged and hopefully they'll have a very happy married life together. Okay, let's move on now to the second paragraph. We'll listen to it first.
To shed his past, Jimmy decided to mail his tools to a friend. He headed to the post office but stopped by the bank along the way to visit Mr. Adams, his future father-in-law. As he walked in, Jimmy didn't notice Ben Price standing in the lobby.
第二部分我们看到动词 shed 指摆脱、去除。举例来说 Greg began to exercise in order to shed some weight. Greg 为了减重开始运动。或是 Tim's cat shed fur all over his new couch. Tim 新沙发上都是他的猫掉的毛。另外，除了上面的意思，这个字还可以指流出、留下，像是 Jill shed a tear for the closing of her favorite bakery. Jill 最喜欢的烘焙坊停止营业，让她很伤心。接着我们看到单字 lobby， 这个字是名词，意思是大厅。例如We can meet in the hotel lobby at 9 o'clock to go on the city tour. 我们可以9点时在旅馆大厅碰面，并去参加城市导览。另外，这个字也可以当动词，指游说、施压，像是 The group of environmentalists started to lobby the government to tackle climate change. 这群环保人士开始游说政府着手对抗气候变迁。
All right, folks, let's go ahead and move on to the second part of today's lesson. To shed his past, Jimmy decided to mail his tools to a friend. So yes, remember, he wanted to go straight, okay? He didn't want to be a bad guy anymore. He wanted to give up his life of crime. So to shed his past, to get rid of this part of his past, Jimmy decided to get rid of his tools, his safe-cracking tools. So he decided to mail these tools to a friend.
Right, so he wanted to shed his past. Remember, snakes shed their skin, or sometimes animals like cats and dogs will shed fur all over your house. So, yeah, if you're allergic to cats or dogs, it's probably because they shed their fur. But in this case, he wants to get rid of his past, to move on with his life, to turn over a new leaf, to become a new man, to be well again. So he decided to get rid of those tools and mail them to a friend. Now, in order to mail something, of course, you need to go to the post office. So he headed to the post office, but stopped by the bank along the way to visit Mr. Adams, his future father-in-law. So between where he was and the post office was the bank. So on his way to the post office, he passed by the bank and he thought, I'll just stop by the bank and visit Mr. Adams. He's going to be my future father-in-law, so I'd like to chat with him. So he likes me and I like him, and we can become the best of friends in the future. So yeah, I'll stop by. If you stop by again, that means you go someplace to visit. Usually when you're on the way to someplace else, and you're probably not going to stay very long. It's just for a short, casual visit.
There you go. Annabelle Adams, remember, is the daughter of a local banker, and now that they're engaged, he, Jimmy Valentine, and Annabelle Adams, Mr. Adams here, is going to be Jimmy Valentine's father-in-law. He'll be the father-in-law in the future. So there you go. Jimmy's going to the post office, but he thinks, you know what? I'm going to stop by the bank here and see Mr. Adams. As he walked in, though, Jimmy didn't notice Ben Price standing in the lobby. So there you go. There is some action for you guys. You guys wanted action? There you have it. Ben Price is in the lobby of the bank when Jimmy Valentine walks in. And what does Jimmy Valentine have with him? His suitcase. The suitcase filled with safe-cracking tools. Oh my goodness. I bet Ben Price is really excited right now.
Right. Ben Price has probably conducted an investigation and has probably figured out that Jimmy Valentine is in this village, in this small town. So he is there and he's in the bank. So there's Ben Price there standing in the lobby. A lot of buildings have this open area after you enter the building. Like a hotel, it will have a lobby there where there is the reception desk and maybe some chairs to sit down and wait. That's the lobby. There can be lobbies in all sorts of buildings, and in this particular case, there's a lobby in the bank, and that's where Ben Price is. So my goodness, it looks like Jimmy Valentine is going to get caught, and they won't get married after all. Well, let's find out what happens next in the final section of our lesson for today.
Jimmy went to Mr. Adams, who was showing his family the bank's new vault. But then an accident occurred. Mr. Adams's granddaughter got trapped inside the vault. The door couldn't be opened, for the combination hadn't yet been set. "Can't you do something?" Annabelle asked Jimmy. Jimmy knew if he used his tools to open the vault, his new life would be over. Still, he freed the girl. Leaving the bank, Jimmy locked eyes with Ben Price. "Take me in," Jimmy said, giving up. Price, who'd witnessed Jimmy save the child, replied, "You must be mistaken. I've never seen you before."
最后第三部分，我们看到名词 vault 指银行的金库、保险库，像是 The bank keeps money in a heavily protected vault. 那间银行将钱存放在一处防备森严的金库里。另外，这个字也可以当动词，指用手支撑或撑杆跳跃。我们可以说 Gymnasts were vaulting, flipping, and leaping all over the gym during their practice session. 体操选手练习时在体育馆各处做撑手跳跃、翻滚和飞跃的动作。
Okay, so this is what Ben Price sees. Jimmy Valentine, criminal, master safecracker. He sees him, Jimmy Valentine, walking into a bank with his safe-cracking tools. This is what Ben Price sees from the lobby of the bank. So Ben Price has got to be thinking, Jimmy's going to go to work. He's going to rob this bank. Why else would he be here? Anyways, though, Jimmy went to Mr. Adams, who was showing his family the bank's new vault. So Ben Price, not only does he see a master safecracker walking into a bank with his safe-cracking tools, okay, he also sees this person, Jimmy, walking towards the head of the bank there, Mr. Adams, and he's moving towards the bank vault with his safe-cracking tools. What is Ben Price going to think right now?
Yeah, it looks like Jimmy Valentine is going to go back to prison. A vault is usually a very large room. In this particular case, a vault is a large room inside the bank where valuables are stored. So yes, they go into the vault there. At least Mr. Adams, the president of the bank there, takes his family back there to show them the new vault. Yes, we just had this new vault built here. Hey, what do you think? Isn't it fantastic?
Isn't it great? Isn't it grand? But then an accident occurred. Mr. Adams's granddaughter got trapped inside the vault. And there's more. The door couldn't be opened, for the combination hadn't yet been set. So there you go. Very often, if you want to open a vault or a safe, you have to know the combination. And usually safe crackers, they don't know that combination. They don't know that series of numbers that will allow you to open up that safe or vault, but they still are able to get into that vault. So here, the combination hasn't been set, so there's no combination. There's no number or combination of numbers that you could use to open up the vault. So how are they going to rescue Mr. Adams's granddaughter? Can anybody open up this vault? Yeah, I bet Jimmy Valentine probably can.
Yeah, he's got the tools there and he's got the ability, but hey, he's trying to shed his life of crime. What is Jimmy going to do? Can't you do something? Annabelle asked Jimmy. Well, Jimmy knew if he used his tools to open the vault, his new life would be over. They would know that he was a criminal and that he was a safecracker, and Mr. Adams would probably say, nope, you're not going to marry my daughter now that I know about your wicked past. Still, he freed the girl. He realized that, yes, they're going to find out I am a criminal, or at least I was, but hey, the life of the granddaughter is more important here. So still, even though he was going to get caught, he freed the girl. He did it anyway. He still did the right thing.
And leaving the bank, Jimmy locked eyes with Ben Price. All right, take me in, Jimmy said, giving up. Price, though, who'd witnessed Jimmy save the child, replied, you must be mistaken. I've never seen you before. So, wow, my heart was beating there for a second. Yeah, it looked like Jimmy was going to go to jail there big time. Yeah, Ben Price has caught him red-handed. He's in the bank with safe-cracking tools, cracking a vault, but he wasn't really cracking the vault. He was saving the life of a child, and Ben Price noticed this. He realized this. He witnessed Jimmy save this child. By the way, if you witness something, you see that thing. You see something occur.
Especially if it's a crime or maybe an accident. Like last week, I witnessed a motorcycle accident, and one of the riders was seriously injured. Hopefully that person is okay now. So yes, indeed, Ben Price witnessed Jimmy save the child, and I guess Ben Price realized that Jimmy had turned over a new leaf, and he said, well, I don't know you, so you're free to go. That's basically what happened. It looks like it is possible for people to reform. Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Here comes our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。 Jimmy Valentine 来到一座小城镇，遇见了安娜贝尔，不是那个恐怖的娃娃哦，是个年轻女子。好，课文写到说 It was love at first sight for Jimmy, who, upon seeing Annabelle, vowed to quit crime。句子里面的介系词 upon 在这边表达一怎么样就怎么样，后面要接名词或动名词。那么 upon 也可以用 on 来替换。我们在使用的时候 upon 或是 on 加上名词或动名词，这样的部分呢，可以摆在主要子句之前或是之后，也可以插入句中，就像课文的用法。我们如果把课文句子还原，就可以把它写成说It was love at first sight for Jimmy, who vowed to quit crime upon seeing Annabelle. 好，那么其中这个关系子句 who vowed to quit crime upon seeing Annabelle 就是用来对先行词 Jimmy 去做补充说明。补充说明 Jimmy 一看到安娜贝尔就发誓不再犯案了。好，那我们接着分别用 upon 和 on 来造句。Upon smelling the food, I got hungry. 一闻到食物的味道，我就肚子饿了。She burst into tears on hearing the news. 她一听到消息就突然哭了起来。好，另外句子里面的 love at first sight 就是指一见钟情，第一次见到就有爱了嘛。那我们顺便来学几个表达爱上某人的用法。第一个很常见就是 fall in love，表示相爱坠入情网。 Fall in love with somebody 表示爱上某人。好，相反的 fall out of love with somebody 就表示不再爱某人了。第二个补充的是 head over heels in love， 爱到头跟脚都颠倒过来了，那就可以想象这是为爱神魂颠倒的意思。我们可以用 fall head over heels 或者是 be head over heels in love with somebody 来表达爱某人爱到神魂颠倒，彻底的爱上对方。第三个补充的是 fall for， 它是源自于鱼，看到鱼饵呢，它不自觉会去咬的动作，引申的意思是迷恋或者是被骗哦。特别注意，当受词是人 fall for somebody 就表示迷恋爱上某人，当受词是事物 fall for something 则表示被某事物所欺骗。好，第四个补充的是 give one's heart to somebody 或者是 lose one's heart to somebody， 你把心都给了别人，那就是倾心于某人，爱上某人了。那么第五个Only have eyes for somebody 字面意思是眼里只有某个人，也就是说你只被某人吸引，只对某人有兴趣，你就可以对心仪的对象说 I only have eyes for you， 我眼中只有你。好，第六个补充的是 sweep somebody off somebody's feet，意思是迷倒某人，其中这个 sweep 它不是扫地的意思哦，而是席卷风靡。我们可以用被动语态 be swept off somebody's feet， 表示说被什么什么迷得神魂颠倒，一见倾心，彻底爱上的意思。好，那么以上今天重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Meanwhile, our dinner will be ready in 10 minutes. Meanwhile, could you help set the table? Kate eventually admitted that she had been lying and told me the truth. Engaged. My sister and her boyfriend got engaged right after they graduated from college. Lobby. The tour guide will meet us in the hotel lobby tomorrow morning. Combination. In order to use this safe, you need to set a combination code. Witness. Anyone who witnessed the crime should report it to the police.
Discussion Starter starts now!
Here's our discussion starter for today, and the question is, do your past actions make you who you are? Why or why not?
You know what? I think it's possible to leave our pasts behind completely because reformation is possible. This story shows you that it is possible to retrieve a reformation, okay? Here, Jimmy Valentine, he didn't want to give up his life of crime, but if given the right set of circumstances, you can, in a sense, retrieve a reformation.
Well, that's very optimistic, but I believe that our past actions will always stay with us since other people are not so forgiving. We can forgive ourselves, but for some reason, people just don't forgive us or they don't forget about the bad things we've done in the past, and they'll always be suspicious of us, no matter what we do.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.